All right, we are live. Coinball crew coming back at you with a hell of a panel tonight, guys. Myself, Rue Black, Maximus Crypto, Crux of Crypto, and of course the one and only Caesar. What's going on, guys? Let's go around the table, see how everybody's doing. Rue, let's start with you, man. How's it going? I don't want to hear no Charles quotes.
Hey, man, it's sunny and beautiful in Arizona. I can't help it. I love it. I was out there. I loved it. Max complained. You know what I mean? But it's a good day. Gotta mess with my bro, Max, over here. He hates the heat over here of Phoenix.
Max, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's just I was taking a screenshot earlier. It's 115 degrees here, and it says it feels like 117. I mean, anything over 110, it feels like a blast furnace here. It is what it is, but at least we're blessed with the blast furnace compared to blast furnace times, like, you know, hot shower effect, like if you lived in Miami or something like that. So I guess there's that, but nonetheless, I don't like the whole blast furnace period. I can handle 100. Anything over 110, it's just ugh. Anyway,
I'm with you on that. I like the heat, but yeah, anything over 110 is kind of nasty. But it's definitely better than the humidity. I'll tell you that every day.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, the humidity's unbearable, man. Unbearable. Crux, speaking of the heat, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, thank you. The Heat basketball, check them out. Hey, that team is starting to look solid. You know, don't sleep on them. Maybe next year they'll have their run. But, you know, it's hot here in El Paso, Texas, I'll tell you. I don't have any AC. I actually have somebody over here working on it today. So hopefully it's up tonight. We will see. But if not, I might have to get a hotel. So let's go ahead and pass it on to Caesar. Well,
he don't.
He don't went AWOL.
He's back.
Hey, teleported. You see that? Zoop.
Yeah, instant transmission. Just bam.
You thought you got rid of me.
What's
For
going
the
on,
folks at home? That's going to keep happening.
Call him Neo with moves like that, bro.
Am I back? I keep getting kicked.
You're back.
Bro.
You're back, brother. We got the Crypto
Okay,
Avengers.
cool.
Carlton says we got the Crypto Avengers in the house. Assemble.
Thanks, Carlton.
Absolutely. So we got a lot to unpack. The drama surrounding the Clarity Act continues. Who is to blame? Everyone wants to point a finger at the Republicans or the Democrats. Everyone's picking sides.
Hey, we ran a poll earlier on Tim Warren's live stream. 70% of the people thought it was the Democrats. So you had President Trump, you had the Democrats, you had Republicans, and then I forgot what the fourth answer was. But the consensus, I think, is the Democrats. And I think that's about right. I know there's like this ethical, moral thing of should President Trump be able to create a meme token? And actually the consensus is the other way. So most people think President Trump should not be able to create a meme coin. So it's pretty interesting how like everybody's kind of divided right now. But I think one thing for certain, two for sure, is the Democrats. They are holding it up.
Well, for me, I've been doing a lot of talking about this Clarity Act thing over the last 2 days and the language inside of it. And I gotta say, I don't entirely disagree with kind of what the Democrats are saying here in terms of, here's the thing. So the Republicans want only the DOJ to enforce the Clarity Act, essentially, right? The rules inside the Clarity Act. So, but at the same time, I was reading that they also tried to create a backdoor loophole where the DOJ would skirt any sort of consequences if they chose not to enforce the laws on whichever politician they wanted, right? So similar to the fact that the SEC never goes after any member of Congress for insider trading, for example, right? Which is absurd, but they don't. And there's loopholes that they can't be, there's no consequences for it. So the Republicans tried to put that into the language that the DOJ would not be held responsible by anybody if they chose not to enforce the rules inside the Clarity Act. I agree we should close that loophole, because if you have that loophole, what's the point in any of it at all?
Didn't it just become like illegal like yesterday or something passed where like Congress can't do the insider trading, and Nancy Pelosi voted against it apparently. Oh, we lost one. Yeah, I think something recently happened that's outside of the Clarity Act.
I think you're right, Crooks, because it had always been legal for them to inside trade within like themselves, the politicians. So I don't honestly. I still stand 10 toes down on that. I think it should be fine. I think it's fine, bro. Like,
I mean, you're not alone, Rue. There's a lot of smart people who agree with you. So
honestly, I think it's fine because it's like, okay, it's like a hookup, right? Like you already know the information. You're brokering the deals. You already know the inside information. Why shouldn't you be able to use it? Like,
well, I think the reason for that is because you or I could get sentenced to 25 plus years in prison for doing the exact same thing.
Sure. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but I'm also
25 years.
There is a but. There's a but here. But I'm not a politician in which I'm risking my life to serve my country in that political
here we go with the risking of life. How many politicians die, Rue? Like, there's not a lot.
Well,
every now and then,
thank Secret Service and security for that. But come
there's
on.
no.
You don't think
that's a perk.
Hold on,
you know, that's a perk.
You don't think there's any radicals that'll say that damn Democrat in office did something? I should go take them out, or that dang gone Republican.
But people feel the same way against Elon Musk. Elon Musk isn't part of the government, but people hate him. You know, so it's not like a government only
too. Right. I mean, he's not the only one, but for sure, politicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he was temporarily part of the government. There was a Doge, Department of Governmental Efficiency. So.
All right, Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Congressmen and congresswomen aren't. When was the last time you heard of one of them being attacked? Even an attempt.
And don't say hello, Arizona.
And don't say thank Secret Service, because how many times was Trump attacked in the last year and a half? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, he's been attacked a lot. And I've heard different things like Gretchen Whitmer, because like I really only follow Michigan politics because I'm from Detroit. But I know the governor of Michigan, she had an incident happen in which they had to help her out. And, they found the person and they made sure he was prosecuted. So it does happen. It definitely happens.
It does.
Who was it?
I was going to say, Gabrielle Giffords. Wasn't it Gabrielle Giffords? Remember that many years ago down in Tucson? I mean, so there is that. Yeah.
So then it's not like a consistent.
I just don't think it's fair to say this person can profit millions of dollars only because they have this one extra risk, I guess, for taking on the job. Like, we all have risks. There's a risk when I join the military. There's a risk whenever, like you go and become an electrician, you got to stand on some, ladder 30 feet up in the air. Like, professions have risks.
And with those risks, you get extra benefits.
Like insider trading, like we got people have hundreds of millions of dollars with 6-figure salaries. It just doesn't add up. So I'm
not going to even jump into this one. This is all you guys.
Firemen and police officers, they way bigger risk, and they don't get in to do opportunities to make hundreds of millions of dollars in insider trading and stuff. Well, I think the bottom line is this. If they want to be allowed to do that, I think most people would say whatever if they got rid of the law that sent the average American citizen to prison for the rest of their lives for doing the same thing. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. This is a case where government officials are over citizens, and I think that's unfair. I think that's a good point that you bring up.
Rules for thee, not for me.
But I mean, we can also say like government officials, they look at classified documents and citizens can't do it. So there's arguments for both ways. I see where Rue's coming from.
Got to give a quick shout out to Chris dropping the 7 herbs and spices. Super chat, $20. Thanks, buddy. He says, thanks, boys. Cesar, welcome, and thank you for your TBB find.
Apparently 20 herbs and spices on that one.
20 herbs and spices. Yeah, well, Tim Shea from far away is dropping 1,000 gems on your Rudy Poo candy ass. So I think that's Max's channel. So
I didn't see it come over there. Are you guys sure about that?
or Rue's.
It's not over on here, and I did check the coin vault. I don't see nothing over there, so it has to be probably Rue.
Okay, well, thank you, Tim Shea, for the 1,000 gems. Appreciate it. Trophy cake.
Trophy cake. There you go. Absolutely. And William dropped some cheddar as well. He says, what's up, fellas? You know what? I can't complain. Nobody listens, William.
Oh, you know what? My bad, Tim. It just now popped up. It's YouTube being a little slow today. So thank you so much. That was over on Maximus Crypto that sent the trophy cake. I see the sticker now. That looks pretty cool, man. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate your donation, the trophy cake, all that good stuff. So thanks, brother.
Yes, William. I don't know whose channel that is. Probably Rue's.
Let me see.
No.
Maybe I got to get my thing up here.
So in the meantime, while he's looking for that, loot box, Tim dropping more cheddar.
Really? Wow. Thanks, man. Thank you, Tim Shea. I mean, I guess I should do the proper thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor of Crypto, the crypto commissioner, the one and only Tim Shea, who sprayed from far away, has even Rue Black hitting the DECK. Thank you so much.
I swear, every time you spell that out, I'm like,
one
every time
letter.
you spell that out, I'm like, oh. Wait, no, okay.
Fill out what? The DECK? Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking about, brother. I'm not thinking about no Diddy thing. I'm thinking about the barbecue that goes on a deck. All right, but we could talk about inspect the deck, Raekwon the chef, the Riz of the Jizza. That's another day.
Rue wants to buy a vowel.
No,
you don't need to buy no vowels.
We can keep it
We're
on
good.
the deck. We can keep it on the
we
deck.
don't need it. Yeah. We don't need to buy any vowels up in here.
No vowels needed. No vowels required.
None.
On that one. Absolutely not.
So let's get some more takes on the Clarity Act. The odds have dropped to 37% on Polymarket from 50 just, a month, 2 months ago?
So now it's
what's going on, guys? Let's go around the table. Let's see what everybody thinks. We're going to start with Rue. Is the Clarity Act going to pass in 2026 with the odds now nosediving?
Yes. I think it passes before the solar eclipse, which is 8/12. According to a certain website I was looking at, the solar eclipse is supposed to be August 12th. So I think it passes before then. I think the recess is August 7th. So it should pass before then. Yes.
Max?
I just want to state this. Like, there's a couple comments. Yo, don't be dorks. It's a live show. I mean, we can't have fun here. All right. And then this other guy, okay, try watching you guys tonight, but constant eating is annoying. Do you realize it is supper time? This might be the only time he has that time. I mean, do we have to apologize for being human beings? If that means we lose subs, then we lose it. That's the way I stand on it. If that offends people, then sorry, goodbye.
Yo, can I weigh in on here?
Yeah.
Can I weigh in?
Unbelievable.
Only if we can have a bite.
Oh, you and I and my food. My wife made some homemade mac and cheese. It's too good. It's too good.
Love it.
Look,
love it.
I'm gonna weigh in. You guys are a bunch of dorks. Like every single one of you, myself included.
Right.
Except
I had a guy call me a nerd the other day. I'm like, really? I would hope so. You know. I mean,
is that an insult?
I'm like, I have a gaming PC. You know.
Don't you know nerds have inherited the world?
Unbelievable.
Crypto Toast dropping cheddar says, are people overreacting to the ZBCN burn? Is 100 billion tokens enough for large scale payroll? Perhaps they will need them and not want to burn them. Rue and I have been banging on that drum, but Rue, I want you to drop your opinion on that, buddy.
Yeah, I think people are way overreacting to that. We've discussed it, Rob and I, and Max and I. I really think that it's the fees that are going to bring a lot of value to the token of ZBCN. Simon's talked about it. He had it in the last spaces. Think of ZBCN as a neobank with what they're doing with streaming payroll. So you neobank into the super app, and with the super app, you have a whole bunch of opportunities for fees, streaming payroll, remittances with MoneyGram. Their fees are possible there. Possible fees with doing investing with tokenized stocks, which will possibly be on the super app. And also with the card swipe, we know ZEBEC has the card attached to the super app as well. So there are multiple avenues in which they can garner fees. And I think that's what's going to give a lot of value to the token.
I agree, brother. I agree. Max, this one's coming at you, buddy.
Hey, Francisco, glad to see your support. Obviously, you support us all in the Coin Vault. This is Max, the master of deep dives, all eyes on Cybos 2026. Yeah. You know, I joke around about this. Shout out to our brother in space, Sebastian, from the quant community. We had this comment one time on an X space, and the guy was like, yeah, Cybos. He's like, I wonder if Swift is part of that. Like, bro, it's literally their event. So of course it is. Do you know what Cybos stands for?
Are you sure he wasn't being sarcastic or facetious?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, but no, I appreciate it. Obviously released that video earlier about the, you know, was it like the crossover between Jasmine and, you know, Ripple and all this about this reverse carry trade. You know, it's like, is it really playing out in real time? Sometimes we go to these searches, it's like, yep, it's playing in real time. And then go to other searches like, nope, it's not. And it's just like, well, where is some of this? But we might get into some of these topics a little bit later, but we want you guys to stick around here, to say the least. But yeah, thank you for that support. Appreciate the super chat.
Travel with it.
Okay, my bad. You're good.
Yeah. Another super chat. Yeah, thank you so much, brother. So he says, hello, everyone. My question is, where do you see XRP in 18 years? I opened up a Roth IRA and put XRP in QNT, and then he's 41 years old. Oh, well, let us know in the comments. Did you do I Trust Capital? Obviously, they have like a crypto Roth IRA, but I see it being an absolute household name and then some. I think people will look back and say, geez, you know, like, you know, when we stack all this, right? Like people will say, oh, I wish I got Microsoft. I wish I got Google, Amazon, Intel. But guess what? Ripple will be included in that, right? Your Stellars, some of these other ones we talk about. But yeah, I have it at a very, very high price. I got criticism, believe it or not, I'll tell on myself real quick, Crux. I got criticism from this one guy on my channel, Crux, for being conservative, even with that price prediction collab we did. The guy was just like, that's FUD. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really? What I said about over $1,000 is FUD. All right, it is what it is. But yeah, I just think it's going to be, it's part of the household names. And something I want to put out a disclaimer about, since you mentioned a little bit about QNT, Travel with Experience. So sometimes I think when we look back at QNT may not be labeled by everybody in the future like, oh, the household name, but they're definitely part of that plumbing system. So that in itself also has to be recognized, to say the least. But I mean, we got to include some Stellar in that mix. But thank you so much for the super chat, to say the least. Thank you so much. I got to stop saying say the least. But anyway, that's the code word of the day, say the least, right?
A stab at that. Yeah, I definitely see XRP over $100 in 18 years. Possibly a world reserve currency, maybe backed by gold, or maybe even considered gold itself, right? So yeah, and Quant, the same. Quant and XRP, by the way. Shout out to the Blackrue Investing channel. Definitely check out the channel, guys. I did a recent show, X402, Infrastructure Giants, or something like that. I named it. Both Ripple and Quant just recently joined the X402 Foundation. So I think that's a little hidden gem about Clarity that most people are missing, that micropayments, once Clarity happens, micropayments are going to be huge. And Ripple and Quant are going to help facilitate that.
It's going to zero. Tim Shea said 400 gems. More spraying from far away. What's up, Tim? I believe that's probably on Max's channel again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know about all this, like with these new things. So, but whatever it is, thanks, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
John says, blessing boys, can ZBCN hit a penny this cycle? Easily, in my opinion.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Cesar?
I think if it was from its current price, yes. I believe ZBCN will see new all-time highs. I definitely believe it will. And if it does see new all-time highs, then it should have no problem getting to multiple cents. I mean, maybe you're even pushing like tens of cents, 50 cents, something close to $1. But you still have to go through your recovery process. You've yet to find your low. I want to see how this thing looks when the end of the bear market is and when other altcoins start turning up. I believe it'll see new all-time highs, but I'm not in the same realm as you guys are saying easily. I don't know. From here, it would be more or less easy. It can see that we've seen those kind of pumps before. It's done a 10x in a month before, but let's see how it bottoms out. Let's see, I like ZBCN. I believe it'll see new all-time highs. I very much do. We got some time before this bottom comes in, and I still believe ZBCN is going to see new all-time lows personally.
Cesar crapping on everybody's dreams. No, just kidding.
No, that's fair. I think
I'm going to buy your bags, baby. Sell them to me. When we're at all-time lows, I'm going to buy them up. I've got a stack of gold, a little chest full of gems, ready to unleash the beast and back up the truck on ZBCN whenever it's time.
Marcus dropping that 10 gem says happy poop. I'm assuming those are emojis that they're dropping, unless he just likes to say happy poop. I don't know.
What's up, Marcus Garvey in the house?
That one guy says sunshine.
Indeed.
Tim Shea from far away again. Thank you so much, brother. I think that was CoinVault. Is that CoinVault? Probably.
I'm gonna have to research this unless somebody knows what. Like Tim, what exactly is this? Because I never seen this before.
I haven't seen all these gems.
So like we've all seen, where you can gift a membership, which we're always blessed with that, right? But like, what is this? I mean, I'm literally typing in on YouTube, and it's literally pointing me to things that have nothing to do with this. They're like, oh, if you would like to know the new crypto gem, there is Bat-ish Inu, and I'm like, no, that is not what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think they're emojis, but I'm not too sure. But to get back on track, Crux, you were next, man. What do you think about the Clarity Act? Is it passing in 2026, or are we going back to square one?
Yeah, I want to excuse me. I want to clarify that poll real quick, because earlier we talked about the Democrats are like 60%, 80% the problem on why it's not passing. But if you think about it, if a poll went on why did Trump token rug us, it'd still be the Democrats. Like the people in crypto are heavily geared towards like mainly Republicans. So there's going to be a bias no matter what on that response. So I just wanted to clarify that it's like, there's no way it is the Republicans' fault that the Clarity Act has not passed for a general consensus. But to further that decision, I think it's going to be like the next 60 days or so. And this is more just like a gut feeling type deal. I've been calling for the bottom for a while now. October, I'm still on that. I'm still on that decision, and maybe this is what marks it. If we are in something manipulated, like 1 year after a peak sets a bottom, I think there are higher entities that be, and maybe they're also in charge of when that Clarity Act passes. So we had a bottoming event with FTX. It was pretty substantial last bear winter. And there's always some weird event that feels like it's manipulated, but I think it's pretty soon that it'll pass this year.
Okay. Cesar, you're up, brother.
I like I like what Crux was saying, and especially about the perspective. Okay, being in crypto, we are so quick to jump to conclusions, and we're in our own little echo chambers. It's easy to say it's this person's fault, that's the person's fault. It's easy to say whatever. We're in our own echo chambers. Crypto is definitely right-leaning politics, but there are plenty of left-leaning political people involved as well. You know, I voted for Trump. I'm not like trying to hide or take sides one way or another. I've got Democratic friends. I was a Democrat growing up. I wouldn't say I'm a Republican now, but I voted for Trump. You know, I definitely would not vote Democrat. I'm getting personal. What I'm trying to say is, while pissing off everybody who's listening, it is definitely an echo chamber in crypto. And if you're getting, especially when from the political side, like I got a friend who he won't even think about crypto because he thinks that Republicans run the whole thing, and he's just a heavy liberal, you know. So just it's very one-sided in that sense. That it's important to remember that, not just in politics, but in other things too. And like, what's the hottest coin? We get trapped in our echo chambers, man. But that's a whole side note. I'm getting distracted about the Clarity Act. I don't know, man. You know, I've been in crypto for a while now, and with the Bitcoin ETF, you know, my last call that I had about the ETF was that it would not pass, and it passed. But every other call that I made for the years before then that it wouldn't pass, the like dozens of calls that I said, no, it's not going to pass, those were all right. So eventually the Clarity Act will pass, but I think we're in a phase now where we're just being teased. And there's one thing that makes me think it could pass this year. And that's what's happening in November. That's the midterm elections. Because I think Trump, maybe Trump, maybe the Republicans, maybe they're doing this back and forth, keeping people, you know, same thing with Iran. They're going back and forth with the gas prices, all this stuff. Then there's going to be peace, so to speak. Then there's going to be clarity all around the time whenever gas prices historically drop, right around the midterms, right around elections, right around those kind of periods. And the end of the bear market from a cyclical basis should end October, November, December. I'm thinking the low is going to be in next month, guys. I think we're going to get it either next month or September. I think it's coming. And then what happens within a quarter of the year after that? Midterms. So what's going to cause crypto is heavily Republican. The crypto bros did vote for Trump. There are people who aren't even Republican, like myself, who voted for Trump, not because he's a crypto guy, but because, you know, he's probably pro economics better than the plant, whatever her name is. She's got my same last name. But anyways, I don't even know if it's Kamala or Kamala. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the two. Trump has me so back.
No one knows.
Kamala, I think is what it is.
No
Kamala Harris. She never stood a chance. I don't know.
That's a pretty good impersonation. I'll give you that.
I'm not trying to piss people off. I just don't care. You know, I don't care. I'm not going to hide who I am. And I don't think anybody should. And that's politics has made this so divisive where people are afraid to hide who they are. I mean, I have people who've literally cut me out of their lives because I just said that I voted for Trump. And it's like, they'll call me a racist and stuff. It's like, you guys, I grew up with you. You know, I'm not racist. Like, what? Like, yeah. Like what? And I'm getting all tied up, man. I'm getting all tied up. All I'm trying to say is the midterms, end of bear market, things start to rally. We have that like post bear market pop maybe. And then we're still in this kind of lull phase, right? But the pop comes just in time for those midterm elections. I don't know. That's my thesis. That's my theory.
Well, for me, there's a lot of drama going on, but I think it's just a lot of posturing, to be perfectly honest with you. And I know that the poly market odds are down. I know we have Elizabeth Warren, which I actually have a clip of that I was going to play. I might still play of Elizabeth Warren doing a call to action to swat down the Clarity Act and not pass it in its current language. She put that out today. Despite all of that, I think it's going to pass this year.
Yeah, in light of what you just said, Rob, this is not a super chat, but this might be the comment of the day. I think we should have a comment of the day, personally. I used to do this on Maximus Crypto in the area where you could put like posts. So to me, this is the post of the day so far. Shout out to TRW3825. He says, I have a hard time believing, this is at 646, so not that long ago. I have a hard time believing that the DTCC would be going fully live on chain in October without essentially already knowing that clarity is going to pass. Like, I'm 100% with this. Yeah, that's a fantastic comment. I wish we could just pin that, because that right there, you get it. And I think a lot of people that study this stuff with DTCC, they also get it. I mean, when we talk about like what is the key factor moving forward, the heck is that? Anyway, what's the key factor moving forward when it comes to the biggest drivers when it comes to maybe disrupting, like we talked about on Monday, the 4-year cycle? Remember when we were talking about that? I think it's DTCC, because I wish I could do a video. Maybe I will, because I've been doing those visuals. So it's like when we talk about these giant pools, I always use this example. Well, DTCC could bring in quadrillions. So I think there's a conversation that maybe we'll do on that game show coming up, where the new question should be, is the 4-year cycle over, or do they coexist with this new disruption? Because I look at, like, maybe it's not draining one pool of liquidity, right? Like, you know, like Bitcoin, 80% of the overall market. But maybe it's just saying, here's another pool. And what is that pool? It's the institutional pool of liquidity, like your DTCC. I've been mentioning a lot about R3 Corda, what they can bring in. I did some coverage earlier today about CLS. Like, that's another big thing. Anyway, comment of the day, you win. And I think that's a good complementary to what you're just talking about, Rob.
Now, Max, I think someone might argue that what the CFTC and the SEC passed, that little temporary clarity, if you will, that maybe they can run off of that. But I tend to agree with you, even though we have that, that maybe the DTCC already knows it'll be passed by before October.
I'm with you, brother. I honestly think that behind closed doors, they discuss some of these things, right? And they're like, you know, we just can't unveil this. You know, I had this conversation, he's not in the comments right now, but with Crypto Mike, you know, Elon Musk, about some of these things. It's just like, I mean, again, shout out to Scott. He's over visiting some of these guys from Canton and whatnot, right? And discussing some of these things. And when we look at Canton currently, it's just like, well, we are talking about pilots. I mean, there's July 15th. Everybody was like, oh man, DTCC July 15th, right? But in reality, the big whopper has to be October, because we're going from pilots to, like, you're finally going to see, as I would say, the utility be put in motion. Now, how far does that scale? How far does that truly tokenize then? Then combine it with what you said, brother, about Genius Act in January. When you combine that, I mean, between October and then into the new year, 2027, I know we're in 2026, and everybody's wanting us to focus on 2026, but like accumulate in 2026, to say at least, to prepare yourself for when this stuff finally lands in 2027. Anyway.
Indeed. Like, ZEBEC just put something out where they specifically talk about how the Clarity Act will be helpful for them and what they have going on with payroll and payments. It's going to be a 3-parter. So this is like the first part of it. Maybe we get into some of that later on today. But again, I think a lot of it has to do with what's been set up with micropayments and X402 and agentic AI, from Franklin Templeton to MasterCard to like many others like MoonPay, Robinhood Chain. AI agents are like here. And there are some people like Artemis, which they do like research, crypto research. They say by like 2027, like the number of AI agents are going to outnumber humans. In 2027,
that makes sense.
Which is what? Less than 6 months away.
Right.
Yeah. Crypto Toast drops 200 gems. He says flow state. And of course, he drops another one saying gold coin. They must be emojis or something like that.
It's part of monetization, like earn on YouTube. There's a way to turn it off, and you know,
Why would I turn it off? No.
Sure. I mean, if none of us know what it is, like in the back after this, we could check it out. But
I think it's like kind of like how you send like roses on TikTok or on Twitch. You send
Yeah.
things like I don't know if it's the same like denomination. Like I don't know what 10 gems or 100 gems is worth. I think it's not nothing, but I don't think it's like a huge amount. It's not like $100.
It's $100 a gem.
Exactly.
Or Tim
Rich.
Shea.
I need to open up my gem account then.
Shout out to Underdog Research. He's in the chat.
Oh yeah, shout out to Underdog.
I saw Shook earlier as well, so shout out to Shook also.
Shout out to Shook.
But Underdog says, Blackrue, what's going on, my brother? Great to see you and the team tonight. I can't stay for the full conversation, but it sounds interesting. It's always interesting, brother. Good to see you, man.
Indeed.
Okay, so I do have this Elizabeth Warren clip that I want to play because it's only a minute long. And
real quick too. Anybody who's not familiar with Underdog Crypto or Shook Focus, you need to follow them because they're very analytical minds. They're very, very studious. Good people to follow for crypto gems, for whatever. I mean, they talk about some coins that I've talked about or that I like. I don't know, and that I'm sure all of us like as well. They're smart individuals. Just one more thing.
100%. 100%.
My blood pressure just went up with her coming on the screen. What the heck? What the heck?
So Elizabeth Warren, breaking. She just openly urged everyone to vote against the crypto market structure bill. This bill should be dead on arrival, she says. It's only a minute long. Listen up.
1.4 billion. That's what Donald Trump made off cryptocurrency last year alone while working Americans.
That's also the same amount of nerves that she gets on in my pocket. 1.4 billion.
Are struggling to afford groceries and rent. Senate Republicans just released their updated version of the Clarity Act, a bill meant to regulate crypto, and it's going to a vote on the floor. There's a glaring omission. It does not stop Donald Trump from cashing in on his presidency. A new poll found Trump's crypto earnings are deeply unpopular with Americans. And let's be clear, this is our best chance to rein in President Trump's crypto corruption. If that's not bad enough, this latest draft bill would make it easier for criminals, and cartels and terrorists to move money and finance their operations. And it fails to protect investors in our financial system. Look, this isn't regulation. This is a giveaway. This bill should be dead on arrival.
Let me get the first hit on this.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack. Go ahead, brother.
The first half, I was kind of with her. Like, I understood, like, all right, this, like, the president of the United States made a ton of money while everybody else lost in 2025. That's a fact. But the second half, when she started name dropping drug traffickers and all this other stuff, and you're just like, well, US dollars, how much is that used for all this illicit activity? So, man, it makes my blood boil.
What gets me about it is the irony of a woman who won her chair by swearing to go up against big banks, and now ironically has big banks writing bills she's introducing into Congress. For her to be the face of financial efficacy against other people, and not to mention the fact that she's worth millions and only makes about $200,000 a year, right? How the hell did her net worth go up so much? Again, insider trading.
All of it.
Which, again, if you're doing it, what are you doing pointing fingers at somebody else?
Like, that's my entire point about the whole trading thing. It's like all of them are doing it. So, like, it's like, if you're going to blame Trump, blame everybody, right? And I'm not trying to defend him. I equally hate both sides. So, but,
anybody can get it.
they literally all can. But the whole thing, like, do you really think we got cartel up here, using near intents to trade like crypto when they could use cash?
I'm gonna need that towel, man. I'm gonna need that towel.
Why I'm gonna need that hardware wallet, my G. Are we serious with this now? Like, I had somebody in my comments that was dyed in the wool. He must have been dyed in the wool Democrat. He said like that exact thing. I'm like, no. Most petty crime is just going to use cash. They're not going to deal with trying to get a crypto wallet and sending Bitcoin, bro. It's not happening. Like, does it probably happen in some cases? Sure. But more than cash? No.
So the part that like upsets me is like this one person in his family, they have so much influence over all.
Oh, Mr. Internet himself goes up.
Whoa. His internet overheated.
Oh, what just happened? So like this one person in this family, just a handful of people, they make a ton of money. And the Democrats are using this to prevent all of us from getting what we want, what we deserve, for being believers of something, and I don't think it's fair. I just don't.
Yeah.
Well, and the
Go ahead, Cesar.
I was going to say, I mean, the reason for that, I think, is that Elizabeth Warren, who she represents, and her affiliates, it's not the best interest of the people, it's the best interest of the financial institutions. Mm-hmm. And the Clarity Act passing, it's not going to wipe the world clean of financial institutions. It just takes a little bit of their power away. And this is an entity of entities that does not want to give any power. They want to take power inch by inch. They don't want to give it up, no matter how small. And the Clarity Act's just, it's not even a bone that you throw a dog. It's like a piece of toilet paper that you wipe your ass with. It's really not. It's not anything special. But what's special about it is the clarity that will be had. We haven't had clarity in crypto. Industry is being held back because there's no clarity. Even if the Clarity Act passes and it's bad, it'll still be good because we have clarity. And institutions they're sweating on that. If there's any clarity, even if the institutions get the upper hand in the bill, they're still going to get the lower hand, because in time, all these businesses, crypto implementations and integrations are going to be utilized. So I'm sorry, I'm getting all carried away. I'm just saying she doesn't like it because the people who fund her don't like it, which is the institutions, the big dogs.
Yeah, I got two things about this for me, and then I want to hear from Max on this. Number one, it's scary to me that the very criminals that she talks about probably know more about blockchain technology and the transparency of transactions than she does, or she's lying, one of the two. So you're an idiot or you're lying, one of the two. Which one is it, right? Because criminals know that cash is a lot more anonymous than sending money on blockchain, right? And also you've got companies like Tether freezing stable coins whenever they're asked to by government officials when it comes to illicit activity, right? It's happened multiple times over the last handful of years. So, I mean, her argument just doesn't hold any weight. And like I said, it's scary to me that criminals know more about this technology than the people voting on a bill to regulate this technology. That's scary, first of all, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I heard one more point on that. Secondly, I also kind of want to remind everybody, because I find what's getting lost in the sauce, is that we've had 4 cycles before this one, and we've had a bull run every single time with no clarity, no spot ETFs, no government adoption or anything. So do I think that not having the Clarity Act is going to stop the bull run from happening this cycle? Not a chance.
I agree. We don't need the Clarity Act. I know the SEC, the CFTC, they're both on crypto side at this point. We will see what happens, if certain chairs change following the midterms, Democrats start getting positions. But as of now, the CFTC and SEC are both equipped to handle certain parts of crypto. And I still think we would at least have a bull market with that intact.
Shout out to that one guy for the 250 gems. Laughing Disco. And of course, shout out to Longview Compute live from Chicago. I
Chi-town.
did play your little short earlier today, Scott, on my live stream, just letting everybody know you're out there, boots on the ground, repping. Max, I want to know what you think, buddy.
Well, I will start with you, Crux. You're saying we don't need the Clarity Act. We need the Clarity Act. There's enough documents that show clearly the institutions, especially like even some of the central bankers, literally in the white papers, it says we need the Clarity Act. So I politely disagree with you on that, brother. And then on top of that,
wait. You need to expand on that. We need a little bit more context on that, because are you saying we need it so that more money comes into the space and we have a bigger bull run, or that we won't have a bull run at all without it? I need you to expand on that.
Well, clearly, we can have like a monumental bull run, because I mean, even earlier backstage, right? Shout out to you, Cesar. You're talking about how you did well, right? And in this last bull market, but if you compare it to 2021, night and day difference, right? So I kind of look at it in the same light. I want to see something that's going to surpass the 2021 bull run and then some, right? So when I go to some of these white papers, and I know that the white papers aren't the end all be all, but when it says some of these things, it makes you kind of scratch your head and wonder, like, well, it does seem like that's the driving factor. Again, even the basic things like, some of these central banks, some of these commercial banks saying, hey, we can't hold something like, XRP on our balance sheets because it's too volatile. Well, what happens when we get to, again, that super chat from earlier, like 18 years from now? Well, are we trying to prolong the household name of 18 years from now? Instead of 18 years from now, it becomes 30 years from now? I mean, give me a break, right? So the way I look at it is these things need to get done. Shout out to Rue. He was mentioning that, like, this needs to happen within, soon. And I think they stop prolonging this. Now, I understand there's other documents that say, we will, innovation is going to progress whether we get a quote unquote Clarity Act or not, right? And we all know that even if we get the Clarity Act, let's just be honest, like that's going to be a form of compromise. I get that. But back to what somebody was mentioning in regard to politicians earlier. So, I mean, in reality, a lot of these politicians, I mean, you use Elizabeth Warren as an example. The answer with her is simply like being this blunt, and that is special interest. I mean, think about it. At the end of the day, they are politicians. They'll claim that they're put into office to represent the people, but a lot of times you rarely get that type of candidate. Why? Because it's the people that help back you, get you into office. Then you have obligations to that base. Let's just be honest about it. Whether it's Democrat, Republican, it could be a particular independent, right? There's a few independents that are in office, right? So with that said, special interests. So the way I look at it is, whether we hate Elizabeth Warren or not, right? That's beside the point. It's clear to me that I think she does know about blockchain and DLT. I mean, am I going to honestly say to myself, oh yeah, her assistants or people in her own little cabinet, whoever they are, never educated her at all on the use case, the real use case of blockchain and DLT? Give me a break. No, I think she knows about it, but she says, you know what? I have this obligation. Just like Gary Gensler probably has behind the scenes obligations with special interests to block and do what he did. She's just another person that's still representing that base. How many people are part of that base? There's probably still quite a few of those people. So that's the way I look at it. That's a long explanation.
But you know what? This entire 2015 narrative that criminals are using Bitcoin. Like, can we?
I agree. I should have threw that in there. Yeah, you're right. Because you know what? Yeah, that is like literally. I heard that narrative back in 2016, right? Literally. And thank God I at least got into some Bitcoin back then. But I only held Bitcoin, right? Like, buy Bitcoin, and then it wasn't until 2021 that I start learning about altcoins and utility and stuff like that. So yeah, this is an old, played out. Like, stop playing this outplayed song, right?
We got BlackRock with a Bitcoin ETF now. We got We got multiple countries holding Bitcoin. You know what I mean? We got states holding Bitcoin in their treasury. Can we stop with the 2015? Oh, the criminals are using the Bitcoin to do their illegal.
Well, not only that, Rue. I mean,
let's stop it.
Listen, yeah, let's stop it. Some people say she represents dumb money. No, she acts like she represents dumb money. You know, again, it's special interest groups. That's all it is. It's politics at its finest, and we see that playing out every single day.
We also see the Avengers of the finance world and Larry Fink, Michael Saylor, and of course Lex Luthor from Coinbase, all mounting a defense against quantum computing in the future. I think they're dropping $13 million into it right now, something like that. Did you ever
million herbs and spices, you would say?
Yeah. Did you ever think you'd hear that statement in 2019, 2020 that Larry Fink and Michael Saylor would be mounting a defense to defend Bitcoin from quantum computing?
No, but you know what? Somebody educated them on that. Think about it. Somebody educated them on that, and they said, you know what? If we tokenize some of this stuff, this is going to benefit BlackRock significantly. How so? Because now we have this represented on chain, and we could flood the market with this new liquidity, and it just creates like a snowball effect, right?
Yeah, they really better hurry up, because those 21 quantum computers that require like custom cooling and stuff like that, like, you know, it might just break Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. But
I think
like, quantum computing is going to become a problem, but like,
I think a problem we definitely need to discuss right now are the LLMs, because we got OpenAI, their large language model. They come through without human like intervention at all, and they're hacking things. And I'll be honest, I think in a year from today, I don't think we're going to have LLMs. And I know that's a bold statement, but I don't think like they're going to continue to allow humans to have this kind of access if these LLMs are just getting too powerful. Because like, what's it to stop them from starting to hack blockchains? Like, they're already starting to attack networks. Humans can't stop them. And I think that, to me, is way more important to start figuring out how to fix than quantum. But I mean, we'll see. You know, but I can guarantee you, by the end of this next bull market, there's going to be blockchains getting hacked, and it's going to be by these LLMs.
Yeah. We got a super chat coming in from Chris. Shout out to him. Thank you so much, brother. He says, Cesar, could you talk about and TBB, the 1 week chart, triple hump? What the hell even is that? What does it all mean?
It's code.
Does he want me to like pull it up on my screen?
Yeah, I think he wants to see the chart.
I think I need to I need to switch things around here in order to do that. Hold on. Let me get the camera.
I would say, hell yeah, he wants you to talk about it. He dropped a $5 super chat and mentioned you specifically.
Yeah. Well, but talking about it is different than like showing the chart. You know, that's all I meant.
I call it radio TA.
That's fair.
Radio TA.
Yeah.
Radio TA.
Hold on, friends. I'm just getting this going here real quick. Let me see. I took this down because I've got. Sorry.
So while Cesar is doing that, I'm going to throw this question at you first, Crux. Is Robinhood chain meme coins, are they running out of steam, or are they just getting started?
On my live stream on Tuesday, I've had like 4 or 5 super chats and probably like 20 people talk about this what if token. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little annoying because you know, we're in the bottom of a bear winter. We're talking about some brand new chain, and it's starting to take over, and Solana now has a rival, and meme coins, you know, and people are making money, you know. So first of all, congrats if you made some money on this stuff. I think Robinhood chain is going to stick around. I think the biggest rival now for Coinbase is going to be Robinhood. So they are in there like swimwear, and it's something that I wouldn't just, you know, neglect. They're using Ethereum's infrastructure through Arbitrum, similar to kind of how Base is using our Optimism. So I think Robinhood chain is just getting started.
Do you think, I guess more directly from my question would be, do you think that the meme coins specifically over there are kind of running out of momentum, and that a correction across the board is coming for most of them because they have been going viral for a while.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose their steam when real crypto start pumping. So I think right now there's a playground, there's a digital playground. Everybody have fun over here. But once October comes and people start buying the cantons and buying every XRPs, and then everything just sends, I think people are just like, I'm done buying these little crap tokens. I'm going to buy the real stuff.
You know what, Crux? That reminds me of something like last bull run before everything got real and real tokens were going. They pumped meme coins too. So maybe that does mean, like Cesar was saying earlier, we're close to the low. We're close to everything being finished because they're pumping all of these meme coins to get people focused on those, it seems like to me.
I'm going to get Max's take on this, but I want to just take a pause so that we can see Cesar's chart. So I'm going to put that on the screen.
I think it's going. Goodness.
Let me know whenever we're ready. We on there? All right, cool. Okay, so shout out to Chris Culp for the request. You said the 1 week chart triple hump. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I mean, it's just one big hump. It keeps on. It's a bull. It's a bull hump. We're humping the bear. I don't know. TBB to $1 billion, but no, I really like TBB. I'll do the quick little sales pitch here, but I'm not trying to shill coins. I'm not trying to do that on this necessarily, but I do love TBB. I shill it enough on my own platforms. I mean, you guys, if you've been paying attention to the channel, you're aware. I really like TBB. I don't know what you're referring to whenever it comes to the triple hump weekly pattern. I don't know. We're on our 4th week, so as far as I know, it's more than 3, and I don't see any humps there. So on a daily time frame, chart's bullish as hell. Logarithmic time frame, it's very bullish, but on the standard, the linear chart, we've got this parabolic structure. There's definitely some selling going on. I wanted to share my thoughts real quick with this, because I've been watching some of these wallets that are selling these large amounts here that are taking these prices down to these wicks. These are wallets that bought back here and earlier that are selling. So people are taking profits, but the thing that you're seeing here is that when we're down here, we're getting these massive wicks, massive wicks. And TBB was put on a lot of large accounts on X, a lot of their radars in this area. TBB was put on so many people's radars in this area. And people were saying it was a scam. It couldn't break through $10 million, couldn't break through 1 cent. It was going to go down. It proved itself. It never really gave you a chance for reentry. And now you've had multiple options, 1, 2, 3, 4 different times where we've dropped like 30% from the all-time high. And let me just elaborate on that real quick, right? From here to there, that was 30%. From a high to a low there, new all-time high, over 30%, high to low there. But all of these are 30% drops if you measure to the lows. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste too much time. But there's demand stepping in. And this consolidation phase really reminds me of this one. Of course, this is a meme coin. Of course, it's a low market cap coin. I love this picture. I think it's hilarious. Jason Williams is the founder of the token. He's the buyer. He's the one that owns 70% of the supply, 68.8%. If you're not aware who Jason Williams is, I mean, he's a crypto OG. He's been in the game for a long time. I heard him say something the other day. It makes me wonder if I've been in crypto longer than him. I thought he'd been in crypto longer than me, but I think I actually bought Bitcoin before he did. I'm not 100% sure, which is wild. But he's a very intelligent individual. He's a very charismatic individual. He's funny, man. He's really, I enjoy his style of humor. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to do that. But TBB, as far as it goes, guys, and for everybody watching this, for the hosts and co-hosts and the viewers alike, I genuinely believe this project's going. I mean, guys, I don't know how aware of this you are, but we are networking across the world, like with people in China. Ron.eth and Jason are establishing themselves with some figures in China, right? Like if you're not aware of this, guys, there are memes in China, memes in the Eastern Hemisphere that you never hear about here because it's a different language. It's a different hub. And whenever you have the Western Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere working together, man, things can go bananas. Things can go really, really crazy. And Jason himself, he's plugged in. He's plugged in, I think, far more to the crypto industry than Ansem is. I think he's plugged in, and in reference to that directly, I genuinely believe this coin can flip Ansem. And on that note, it is a meme coin. It's a low market cap coin. Don't bet the farm. If you want to invest in meme coins, understand it's the same thing as like rolling the dice at a casino. But this one, I think we've got loaded dice on. And if you hear anybody talk about meme coins, you hear about anybody pumping up their bags, talking about meme coins, they never really give a fundamental reason as to why it's going to grow. They just say, we've got a community. We've got a community. It's going to grow. We've got a community, which is the same thing as saying, you know, the next person's going to buy, so your bags are going to go up. And that's the truth for anything. That's the truth for Bitcoin. That's the truth for stocks. That's the truth for gold. That's how it is, right? And it's a little bit more intricate than that, but ideally you're getting in before somebody else gets in and you make a profit on that, on anything. But with this, guys, the people who are in charge, I've never seen somebody who's in charge of a meme coin act and do the things that this guy's doing. Like and then just the whole community too. He's got a team of just elite influencers. I genuinely believe this thing is going to rock it. And for any of you influencers who are watching this right now, or who are a part of this, co-hosting this with us, I think it's not too late to get in, man. I really think this thing will be worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in time. There's something special going on here, and you gotta listen to the spaces, man. You'll see. But that's the sales pitch. I went on way too long about that. You're finding support at prior resistance. You're finding support at prior resistance. You're finding support at prior resistance. Share stepping up. Volumes coming in. If my computer would stop, volumes coming in as we're moving up. There's more wallet holders every single day. We're gaining wallet holders. No exchanges. No paid sponsorships. No paid shills. No Jeets. My community, I wrote about this on my Discord. I was the first person to make a YouTube channel about this. My community trusts me because I don't sell you guys things. And it's not that I don't sell you things. Like if I said buy my merch, or like how Rob has his whatever it is, that wallet thing, that you know what I'm talking about. I forget what it's called, but yeah,
Wallet?
That's different. Yeah, shout out to Decrypt, but that's different than like saying click on my affiliate link for this exchange, you know, or buy this token, buy my trading courses. Like, and I know some of you have trading courses. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, there's the people in my community, they trust me because I don't sell them anything. I don't want anything from them. I want them to make money. And what I'm trying to say here, if you're listening, is that my community, they got in down here, and they it's not that they follow my lead, but they hear my words. They take what I'm telling them and they run with it. They know as well as I do that this thing's got more to go. You've got a foundation of people, myself included. I'm one of the top 15 wallets who bought down here. There's people in my Discord that are of the top 20 wallets who bought down here. They haven't sold. I haven't sold. We haven't touched it. There's a solid foundation here of people who are holding the same way that Bitcoin was in the early days, the same way that Dogecoin was in the early days. The difference between this meme coin and other meme coins is after this meme coin pulled a 100x from its lows, the OGs, the top 20 wallets, they're still here. They haven't sold. They're not selling. And then on top of that, you've got 70% of the supply being controlled by one guy, Jason, who's not going to rug. His name is on this. It would be really bad for him if he rugged, but he wouldn't do that anyways. He's a good guy. And then you've got the remaining coins. Half of that supply is sucked up by the top like 20 or 30 wallets, and they haven't sold. They're like very, very few wallets. I've been paying attention to this stuff on chain. It's late in the sense of 1.7 cents from 0.0019 cents. I get it. Or $0.009. But it's not late in the sense of what this thing's going to do. If Ansem could see $440 million, I genuinely believe this thing can see at least a fraction of that, at least a quarter of that, which from here could be as much as a 10x. It's definitely going to do more than a 2 or 3x. I mean, again, last thing, I'm not trying to do too much shilling, but damn it, I let loose the beast there. I cut loose the cork. I don't like doing that on other people's stuff. I know we're here to talk other things, but this, you know, the beast has been summoned. High to low, where we are in the fibs, how well this has respected the fibs from this golden ratio here. If my computer would stop lagging, golden ratio resistance there, 382 resistance right here, 236 support. Golden ratio resistance, 0.5382 support. It's classic textbook Fibonacci stuff. You break above the golden ratio, now you're finding support of the golden ratio. You rally up here, you find resistance to the 1272. Look at all the significance. Now you're finding support at it. Resistance being held at the golden ratio here. All I'm trying to say, building up to this main point, the next target in my eyes, where this thing is really going to go, is here before there's any kind of significant consolidation. And at the rate it's growing, it could continue to grow past it. It absolutely could. But when I say significant consolidation, this thing's on a tear. The most consolidation it's seen is for 4 days. I'm talking about consolidation that could last for weeks, maybe months. It might happen up here. It might happen higher. I'm not selling. I don't care. I believe there's going to be higher prices in time. But even from here, 12.5 cents from its current price, I confidently believe in that. And I'm sorry I'm taking up so much time, but that's all of it. That's all I got. I shout out to TBB, shout out to the Bitcoin bull community. You guys, if you haven't watched or been a part of any of these spaces, you gotta listen, especially like Ron.eth. Some of them are shenanigans, some of them are silly, but man, they get people like Grant Cardone, Gary Cardone. There's people with millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, thousands of followers, people who have larger accounts than me who are supporting this stuff, who've been looking to get into this stuff. I don't shill shit for no reason. I don't talk like this about anything unless I'm passionate about it. I'm not doing it because I'm being paid. I'm not doing it because I want to dump on my community. That's not who I am. That's not who I've ever been. That's not who you guys appreciate, who are having me on here, who brought me on to Coin Vault. You guys brought me on here because I'm like you. I want to help my community grow. And it's still early. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
Yeah, side note, I mean, I don't know much about the project or anything, but I personally always encourage people to make sure you're taking your profits along the way.
Take your profits. Take your profits.
Clutch Liquidity says, Big Rob, thank you for all the time and research each of you have put in over the past 2 years. It has been invaluable since I went all in on crypto. Thank you, brother. Hey, absolutely, man. And that is a great picture of what you look like today in your profile. This is what crypto did to him. Do I look like a man with a plan to you? We love you, Clutch. Thank you so much, man. Longview says, Scott says, Robinhood is turning into a gambling site, prediction markets, and meme coins. What do you think, Scott? Or what do you think, Crux?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Well, Robinhood has always been kind of like the retail kind of chain, but it's also institutional. So them being able to bring like Pepe on early or some of these other meme coins on early before bringing like the hot projects, the big ones, they kind of showed their cards pretty early on. Robinhood did. So I do think they're for the degen, they're for the meme coin holders, they're for retail.
Yeah. Johnny drops 1,000 gems, GOAT trophy. Johnny B, that's either Max or Rue. It's one of you guys.
Not me.
Not me.
Oh. Well, there you go. I guess it's nobody then.
It's got to be you.
Well,
I just checked Coin Vault and I checked Maximus Crypto.
well, maybe things have been on a delay all night, so maybe it just hasn't come to the person it needs to go to yet.
Tim Shea was wondering if you can drop Caesar's X.
Yeah, Caesar, can you drop your X in the chat there, brother?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, my X in the chat. I got to pull it up on YouTube here. I'll drop it in our chat, and then one of you guys could repost it, or if you wait, I'll repost it. But this is it right here. Let's see.
Underdog
That
says,
should be-
Crux. He says, Crux, the Clarity Act will destroy meme coins. They have no place after the Clarity, not in their current form. What do you think, buddy?
False. Because you got to think. The meme coins have the hardest job to pass the sniff test. This is something that is like nothing is backing it. It's minted out of thin air, and 100% of the tokens go to one wallet when it's created. So this guy can do whatever he wants. Typically, that's usually how it happens. He can off ramp it to maybe somebody else. Now these two people have 50%. But I think they're starting to possibly go after it in terms of whoever holds maybe 30% of the supply. At that point, it's a security or whatever. So that's the one way I could see them stifling meme coins, is like too much concentration in a small amount of hands. that is meme coins in particular. I mean, other coins as well. If the tokenomics are scuffed, that's typically how it happens. But the Clarity Act's not going to single out meme coins, especially because a lot of times you get the Trump tokens and these types of things. So I don't think they're going to get rid of those. And I honestly, I don't think it's even beneficial for crypto to get rid of the meme coins, because we just talked about Robinhood. This has been a great on-ramp for people to start investing into 401ks and just investing into stocks in general. Like, why stifle innovation? You know, and meme coins is part of it. So I don't think the Clarity Act's going to shut that down.
What do you think, Rue? I know you got a response to that. Is the Clarity Act going to destroy meme coins?
It's not, only because they made sure to, I forget what it was. I think it was that CFTC notice where they made sure to point out Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, two quote unquote meme coins. I would say that Doge is not a meme coin, but they classify it as that. So no, it won't destroy meme coins. But I think I understand where Underdog's coming from with that, is that, you know, Clarity is meant to give clarity on how the crypto market will move forward, but meme coins will always be a part of that, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on who you talk to.
Max, is this a demise of meme coins?
Yeah, I'm going to say it is, to the exception of the ones that are labeled as commodities. Just again, back to what Rue was talking about. Maybe we don't see completely eye to eye on that, but we do a little bit. And again, the example of SHIB that Rue used is a great example. The example of Doge is a great example. Those are listed as commodities. Again, I'm still personally invested in those particular ones. And a disclaimer, for some of you guys that are on Maximus Crypto, I saw a few of you guys jump out because obviously Cesar mentioned some meme coins. I need to point this out, all right? And I'm going to look right at the camera saying this. There is a mistake that people do in this space, whether you're on my channel or you're on some of these other guys' channels and so on. And that is, you can be loyal to a base. And what I mean by that is, you can treat this kind of like when we talk about tribalism, you know, like, oh, I don't like Chainlink, or oh, I don't like XRP, or oh, I don't like Canton. But people do the same type of thing when it comes to memes. So in reality, you, if you're listening right now, whoever you are, you can be a meme snob. And I think that is unwise to be like that. Personally, it's not financial advice, but there is opportunities. What I try to share within my community, even on the Patreon, is that no one is telling you that you need to hodl these memes long term, right? Now, I get it. Some people want you to do that. But I think Rob and I agree on this. We talked about this before, that you can take profits on some of these things. And why would you want to do that? Well, why wouldn't you want to not do that? What you want to do is you want to allocate capital that you don't normally have, that all of a sudden now you do have. To do what? To reach the goals of the things that you haven't reached. What could that be? Did you hit your XRP goals? Did you hit your QNT goals? Did you hit your Jasmine goals? So when we talk about opportunities, well, you can look at some of those things as being opportunities. And again, I understand it's the whole trust thing, but I just want to throw that out there because I know here on Maximus Crypto, it's like taboo to mention some of these memes and whatnot. I can appreciate somebody who has made a name for himself, who has obviously done well in previous bull markets, who come here and collaborate with us and so on. So this is one thing I love that Rob has tried to incorporate originally when he used to do Blockchain Buzz. And that is what, Rob? To have different people with different points of view, whether it's politically speaking, whether it's, you know, utility snob or meme coin snob, or I don't like this project or I don't like that project, to come and speak here. You know, it sucks. It sucks completely that there's people like Charlie Kirk. He's a guy who was a martyr of the whole topic of being able to agree to disagree. We need to come together as a community and say, you know what? I don't hate you. Maybe I don't like the message. As the saying goes, attack the message, not the messenger. I saw a couple of you guys getting in a little fight in the comments, man. That's my policy.
Yeah. I think I look at meme coins as having two utilities that I think are vastly underappreciated and underestimated. One how many people were brought into the crypto space because of Doge and Shiba Inu in the 2021 cycle. They are fantastic for onboarding new retail investors into the space. A percentage of those people usually end up finding their way to utility coins as they learn more and more about it. And number two, for me, would be what we teach over in our community, for me anyway, is that we get into meme coins, right? Not 100% of our portfolios, but we get into them and then we take profits. And now we have more dry powder to fill our utility bags, like Max was alluding to. Did you reach your quant goal? Did you reach your XRP goal, your ZEBEC goal? Well, guess what? This is a great way to also build up that dry powder as well. So I see two massive utilities for meme coins that are vastly underestimated and undervalued.
Here's
Go ahead.
here's a little history for you guys too. I'm sure some of you know this, maybe none of you are aware of this, but it's a fact. It's something that's like publicly available to know. But is that like Bitcoin, whenever it was first created, had zero value, right? There was no, you could mine it with your laptop. No, people that owned Bitcoins, they weren't worth 1 cent. They weren't worth half a cent, per Bitcoin. They were floating out there, and there was zero value. Like in the I forget how long it was in the beginning times. It was just something that you could have, but there was no value attached to it. In a sense, as odd as it is, in that sense, Bitcoin was the very first meme coin. It was. People in the coding space, in the cypherpunk movement, they would send each other Bitcoins without having any dollars attached to them, tipping each other with them as like a letting you know that you're part of the club. Like, hey, I appreciate you. This is, this is cool. Like, whatever. I'm going to send this to you. Look at how cool this is. We're sending this thing that has no value attached to it. But this is how you know you're in the know. You're part of the club before it ever had value. And I think memetics, memes are ingrained. And it took me a while to get to this. It really took me until Doge last cycle to really, and Shiba, to see what it was. I didn't even like Shiba. I still don't really like Shiba, but it, it did really well. Some of the memes you'd like the least are the ones that do the best, and Doge was hated. All I'm trying to say is Bitcoin was hated. Bitcoin was faded. Bitcoin served no purpose to people. It was just some dumb magic internet money, and obviously that was always a lie. Obviously there's always some backbone underneath it. But even Doge, it's the OG meme coin technically, right? I think Bitcoin, there's an argument to be made there. There's more utility. There's more fundamental significance there. But even Doge, being the first quote unquote meme coin, Doge, fundamentally speaking, economically speaking, tokenomically speaking, it's actually more feasible than the dollar. It has an unlimited supply. It inflates every year, but its inflation rate is going down every year. It has a cap. It inflates the same amount, not the same percentage, the same amount. Like this meme coin that was made as a joke that the founder created and sold, and he's out of it and he hates it now. It's actually more economically feasible than the US dollar, which is the strongest currency in the world. So I'm just, memes have a place. And I think getting back to what Max was saying and what Rob was saying, you want to invest in utility tokens. Have fun with memes. Treat it like a casino. You're gambling, you're taking a risk. It is a risk. It's more risky. It's kind of some of the fun. It's some of the heart and the spirit of crypto. And you get a little bit of culture too when you involve yourself in memes, right? I feel like I'm more involved in the culture of crypto now than I have been in a while because, I've stepped away. I've kind of just been like on autopilot doing my analysis stuff. But getting involved with this meme coin is really like, I feel like I'm, integrating myself with the community too. And that's where it is, man. That's where it is. It's that thing that has no value that you're sending back and forth to your buddies as a tip because you're part of the know. You're in the know. But when you do have money, you want to buy things that have utility. You want to invest. You want to hold things that'll be here until you're dead, until your kids are dead, until their kids are, like the future, your generations to come. You want to invest in things like Bitcoin, like, maybe Ethereum, or I like Bitcoin Cash, things that you think will be here for the long term. Solana, your Cardanos, if you think ZEBEC will be here, whatever, or XCN, I don't know if they'll all be here forever, but there's going to be some. I think XMR will be here. I think Doge will be here. I think Bitcoin will be here. You definitely want to have a base in your portfolio with utility. You definitely do, but you can have fun on the way too. And there's nothing like what Max was saying. There's no need to get judgy or act like you're better than each other. There's no need to be tribal. Like we're all just trying to figure this shit out together, man, you know, and your way of doing it's different than mine. And I'm sorry I'm taking up all the time.
No, you're good.
Sure.
I just wanted to just throw this at you real quick, Rob, and that is you used that example of Doge. Remember? I mean, if it wasn't for Doge, to be honest, from Robinhood, I wouldn't even be here. I tell people that all the time. I came into Doge at a penny. And again, the Shiba Inu thing, I mean, you know, did 11x on it. So in reality, with Doge, I did about a 71x. I didn't listen to everybody that said it was going to go to over $1. And that ended up being awesome, right? But again, I mean, people like, I don't know, maybe as you guys are here as we speak, you know, you just tuned into this for the first time live. You're like, I never knew that. I need to disclaim that, because when we talk about what bridged some of us to some of these other things that we covered, it's like, where did it all start? You know, like every single person here has like their own crypto testimony. I'll just make this brief, Rob, I'm sorry. And that is like, you know, somebody told you about such and such coin or such and such token, and then you went out and bought it. Well, that could be a meme. That could be a utility-based one. It could be whatever. I mean, even with Rue, right? Like Cardano, like a 2 cents or whatever you came into it as. Everybody here has a story of where it all started. So that's where it started for me. So I do like some of these examples, and I'm glad that you brought up what you did in regard to the Dogecoin example, Rob.
Absolutely. Shout out to Chris Culp again. He says, thank you, Caesar. That passion is what I wanted everyone to hear. To her. So they could get in if they wanted to as well. And then I have another super chat down here from the only, the guys want to be him, the ladies want to be with him. Shook Focus. Fight, he says. Let's go. Shook causing a scene, instigating in the chat. So, interesting conversations today, guys. We've landed on the Clarity Act. I think the majority is it's going to pass in 2026. And Robinhood meme coins are just getting started.
Rue, you just got back. We got to let you know that you got a super chat from Shook Focus for $10. So.
Oh,
You're muted.
I don't see that on my end. I don't know if it's me,
we can hear you now.
But shout out. You can't hear me?
Yep, you can hear. I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't see that on my end, but shout out to Shook. I don't see it on my end.
It was Coinbolt.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's delayed even for me. Well, my internet went out. It's so freaking hot outside. It's like baking my wires or whatever. You know, I mean, I don't know. So.
Clutch Liquidity dropping some more cheddar. He says, intuitively, I've always been drawn to XLM since getting into crypto. How do you guys feel about it this cycle? It's McNerney. McNerney, my guy over on the Patreon. Absolute champion. Absolutely. Supports the channel, supports the Patreon, and is always a contributor. What do I think about XLM? What I would say, simply put, before I know Max wants to jump in on this one, strap in, strap on, because it's going to be an exciting bull run for XLM.
The phrasing.
No strap-ons. No.
Strap it on, Max. Come on, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that you've always been drawn to XLM. I've made it clear over on Maximus Crypto. I've shared this numerous times. XLM was the first ISO 222 compliant token that I jumped into. But when I first got into it, I think it was like, I don't know, it was like 28 cents, give or take. I never knew about ISO 222 back in early 2021. I just believed in XLM's use case. And believe it or not, shout out to you guys that remember this. I originally got Stellar XLM off of Coinbase. They used to have this thing back in the day where you would read something educational and they would reward you with some of those coins and tokens. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got some Fetch back in the day. I got some Stellar. But for Stellar, when I was reading all that stuff from, answering the little quizzes, I was like, man, this thing's cool. I'm like, this thing's Stellar. I was reading about the one about Fetch and all the other ones, and it's fine. But the one about Stellar, I did like 20 of those questionnaires. I was like, Stellar is the coolest one, man. I'm like, to the moon. But I mean, here we are, right? And I'm still covering it. We all cover it, right? So that's a great question. I'm glad that you're still drawn to it. I do plan on doing another Stellar video here soon, just exclusively on Stellar. But today's video actually was both XRP and Stellar. And just to tell on myself, by the time you get to the end of the video, I referenced that document from the BIS where it literally says Stellar was the preferred choice. To get that endorsement from the BIS of preferred choice, I don't know if people understand fully the magnitude of that, on how major that is to have the central bank reference them as a preferred choice.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother. Well, I think we should go around and get our final thoughts. We're sitting at almost an hour and a half. I'm going to start with Rue once again. What do you think, buddy? What are your closing thoughts on the stream?
I really loved what Caesar said about maybe everything is done. We hit the lows in like a month or less. I can kind of see that. I can kind of get on board with that. Yeah, I think this bear market is going to be quicker than people really think. And hey, I'm ready. I'm nimble for either way. If it takes longer, if it's shorter, either way. But I'm excited for the future.
All right, so Rue thinks that there's not going to be a bull run this cycle. Alts are going to zero. Croc, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I would just tell you to be ready no matter what. So if we go up and right from today and the bottom is in, then you should be ready. But also, if we go down and right, then you should be ready. So that being said, it's probably best not to be all in or all out. And if you are, just be ready to basically be wrong with that decision. So if you're to hold all your crypto and just wait for the 40K October Bitcoin and it's up and right, you made that decision. And there's a huge probability that you're going to fail. So don't listen to everybody and try to be fancy with it. You can be 50-50. You can be 75-25. Nobody should be 100-0. So I'll just throw that out there.
Absolutely. Cesar, final thoughts on the stream. What are your closing thoughts? What would you like to leave everybody with coming away from this stream today?
The market is meant to take your money. It's meant to take your money. It's your job to safeguard your money, right? You want to make money. The best way really to think about making money in this space is not to try to make it. It's to try to preserve it. You preserve it long enough. You find something that sticks, or maybe multiple somethings that stick. You're going to make money. We're in the end of the bear market now. The end of the bear market's coming up. Stack your cash while you can. Invest in things while you can. Get your place set up. Understand there's time. We have a lot of time. Accumulate what you want. Do your research. Be open-minded to new things. Not everything that you think you know will be completely relevant in the next cycle. There will be new things. There will be old things that you thought were gone that come back. Everything that you're holding true to now might still be true, hopefully will be, but there will be new things too. For some people right now, the market is a boring place. They think there's nothing going on and we're in the doldrums of the bear market. The market's very exciting right now. It's very exciting if you're looking in the right place. It'll be that same way in the bull market. It'll be that it's always that way. There's always money to be made somewhere. So you want to make money. The best way to do it is to do it slowly, is to preserve your capital, because markets are meant to take money from you. Keep an open mind. Look for new opportunities. Stay true to what you believe in, of course. Buy your long-term holds and stuff like that, but just, preserve your capital. That should be the one thing. Don't be so eager to hop on something that can do 100x like TBB. Shout out to TBB. I love TBB. I think it's a good one. But again, even if people think that something's going to do a 100x, you don't need to put your full portfolio in that. You could put 1% in there. There's nothing wrong with that. You could put 0.5%. You could put 0.1%. You could put $10. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever, don't wreck yourselves. You are your own worst enemy. So preserve your money. That's all.
I agree. Make sure you find something that sticks. Just make sure you wash your hands. Max, what do you got for us, brother?
Well, I'll make this quick. I'm actually in almost direct alignment with Crux. I do want to throw out this disclaimer. So I understand that we're going to focus a lot on like what Crux was mentioning in regard to, like, say, maybe October. Could BTC go down to roughly the 40K range, right? But what I think is really, really crucial is for those of us, most of us who are altcoin holders, that you definitely have a structured portfolio. And again, Rob feels the same way. I do. I think all of us do. And I think it's important that whether it's coinmarketcap.com or whatever app you're using to track your portfolio, you need to do just that. You need to track your portfolio. You need to pay close attention to, hey, was this project, whether it's XRP or XLM or some of the other ones we discussed, or even maybe your favorite meme coin, when was the all-time highs? When was the all-time lows? And say to yourself, look, just because it could be the future, for example, October, 40K, maybe possibly per BTC. It's not just about that, right? Because that's going to take the whole market with it. But it's also understanding, look, I have, let's say, for example, you have 50 alts that you pay attention to on your watch list, that you're critically looking at that watch list. This is what I point out on my Patreon all the time. You look at that watch list, because even right now, you want to know some of the things I'm looking at right now? I'm looking at IOTA. Why am I looking at IOTA? We know it's basically an ISO 222 compliant token. We know it's ISO 27001, same compliancy as something like Jasmy. But what separates it from something like Jasmy is that it also is ISO 222. So this recently was at all-time lows. Even if it reached only half of its all-time highs, that's a monumental gain, right? I think that's either a 20 or 30x, somewhere in that range. So I'm looking at some of these projects that could they have another run? Well, again, you could see examples where at a 40K BTC, some of these projects, they'll either be way lower than they are now, or at that time, it doesn't make that much of a difference. And that's the difference I want to point out to you guys, is that, again, back to what Crux said, you don't necessarily need to be, also Caesar, you don't necessarily have to go all in on one thing. No one's saying for you to just, take all of what you have, your hard-earned money, and put it into one coin, whether it's utility or meme or whatever, what have you. But what I am saying is, if you can just get in the habit of, like, hey, you know what? I follow Maximus. I follow Rue. I follow all these guys. I understand the use case of some of this stuff. So now I'm going to position myself, the accumulation zone, for I can strategically win, right? Because you're not going to win if you just FOMO in when everything blasts off, right? Because there will be a few alts, guaranteed, when all this crashing happens. We'll look at some alts. Oh, look at this alt. This alt's doing this, and this alt's doing that. There'll be very few, to say the least, but you have to be structured. You have to have that portfolio. So again, create a free one. Go to CMC, create a free portfolio. And then from there, go to that watch list. After you log in, hit those stars on your favorite cryptos and whatnot, but pay attention to them. Because if you see those opportunities, well, guess what? Those probably are opportunities. Do you go all out on one? No, that's the power of the DCA. And for me, that's how I've been able to win in this journey. I used to work 3 jobs 7 days a week. These guys can attest, especially Rob and Rue. You know what changed that? Last year, 2025. So I want to see you guys win too. I truly mean that. May God bless you all.
And for me, guys, listen, I did a live stream yesterday where we did a little bit more of a deep dive. Historically, we did more of a comprehensive look at historically when the best time to buy in a 4-year cycle is and accumulate. And the general consensus based on the 2017 cycle, the 2021 cycle, and the 2025 cycle, the best window of opportunity is the second half of 2026 and the first half of 2027. So you have about 12 months, in my opinion, to get your positions set. Obviously, it's not financial advice from any of us. It never is. But this is your opportunity, and I strongly believe that the people who are taking their positions now, building out their portfolios, and, are the ones that are going to win. Trust me, trust my cat, okay? So that's my final thoughts for the day. And thank you, everyone, for the super chats, the super stickers, the gems, this new gem thing. We'll figure it out. But On behalf of myself and the entire panel, God bless. Have a fantastic night.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.